Adjusting your aperture in order to control the depth of field in your shot is probably one of the more creative aspects of shooting a movie. When you use a shallow depth of field where only a portion of your frame is sharp and other parts of the frame are softer, it really gives your movie that filmic look that everyone from pros to enthusiasts want to achieve. Here's an example. On the close-up of this guitar, you can see the difference between a small f-stop, which shows a lot of the guitar in focus, and a larger aperture where I'm really drawing your attention to the fingers on the strings. Adjusting your f-stop does affect your exposure though, so you're going to have to adjust for that. If you're indoors and want a shallow depth of field, well, that's easy because you can probably set your aperture wide open and still get a good exposure. But if you want a deeper depth of field using a smaller f-stop, you may need to increase the ISO to compensate for less light coming through the lens. Where it can get really tricky though is outdoors in bright light. If you're looking for a deeper depth of field at a smaller f-stop, no problem, you can probably dial that right in. But if you want shallower depth of field by shooting at a larger f-stop like f1.8 to say 3.5, you may not be able to bring your ISO down low enough to get the proper exposure. So that's where this comes in. It's called a variable neutral density filter, or ND filter for short. It's a dark but optically transparent filter that allows you to adjust its opacity. Its only job is to knock down the brightness of the light coming into the lens by about 2 to 8 stops, without affecting the color or anything else in your shot. By screwing this into the front of the lens, I can shoot at a wider f-stop and get that nice shallow depth of field, which I really like. So I carry a variable ND filter with me whenever I'm shooting.